Like, you know how Zoom it went da 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 and then da 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 da. All right, we are live, everyone. That's how fast it goes.
I love it.
I am super excited to be a guest or to host and be a guest on living life
Living life.
with my wonderful, beautiful friends Linda Guzman and LuLu Rivera-Freeman. We had some technical difficulties yesterday. We all did, and it still wasn't working for me this morning. So I am so glad I have StreamYard and I have you guys. So welcome. I'm going to let you take over, and I'm going to share the show, and I'm going to do all the things I have to do.
Well, I am excited. Thank you for having us. So yeah, StreamYard is, I think, going to take over Zoom. So let's just put that out there. So we do have, our show that it's once a week on Wednesdays at 1:30. And it's called Living Life. And that's where we go over like business updates, family updates, trends. And then we do have a laugh of the day, which LuLu and I laugh all the time. So we have a lot of laughs of the day.
Too many.
With these trying times, why not laugh, right, Elle? So we partnered with our buddy, Ted, who was like, we absolutely adore.
Yes.
And let's talk. Well, we love you. So one of the topics that we wanted to touch on with Ted and Elle was business, right? So what kind of updates can we share with everybody watching on what's going on with business today, as far as what do you guys have? I mean, I have something that I would love to share. You guys tell me what you have.
Take it away.
Take it away. Share.
I want to hear all about it, and I also want to hear how we're feeling about opening versus not opening. That's
everything. Awesome. Yeah. So an update is go onto FloridaRealtors.com to get updates on unemployment. What they're saying now is that for you to file for unemployment, if you get denied, then there is another site or another form that you can actually reapply for us 1099ers, where it's going to protect you as a realtor. So if you haven't applied for unemployment, apply. You may get denied, and then it's going to take you to this other site where you can go ahead and apply again, but this time as a 1099 real estate agent. So again, for more details, go to the FloridaRealtors.com. I thought that was fascinating because we don't qualify for anything. So the fact that they're working diligently to help realtors in this trying time, I love it. And I think that's something I want to share with the world. Another thing that I have was, I think that's all I have. As far as businesses opening and closing, what are you guys?
I'm fascinated. Lou, tell us what you think. What do you think?
I honestly don't feel like I'm ready. I know that we all have to get back to work. I know the, economy is suffering. I get that. But I'm a little scared. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I know that there's a lot of debate going around. And, as most everybody knows, my wife is a chef. So if we don't open up, she doesn't get to work, right? But for me, I don't feel like I'm ready. I don't know what kind of measures and precautions can be taken, especially like in the restaurant industry, in the hospitality industry. My daughter and her boyfriend own a bar downtown. So how can they open up and yet manage the hundreds of people that come in and out? How do we ensure everybody's washing their hands? And how do we ensure that, everything is sanitized? So that's my main worry. Mostly because if Nay goes back to work and brings something here, I can bring it to my mom. I can bring it to my daughter who's pregnant.
Right.
So that's how I'm feeling. And at the same time, I'm like, I'm ready to go back to the office. I'm ready to resume all of the classes that we had on the schedule, all the trainings, all of our plans. So I'm kind of torn. But personally, I'm not ready to be back out there. What do you guys think?
Well, I want to say the one thing that's scariest of all of this is that I didn't know that your daughter and her boyfriend owned a bar downtown.
Yes.
Right now, I don't know how I'm feeling about that.
Yes, I'm on her all the time.
I understand. I think we're all feeling the same. I think if we admit it, we want to get back to the normal, and that isn't going to happen. There's not going to be a normal. It's going to be whatever the new normal is. But I feel like, what are you going to do? Like, are we all going to have to wear masks into bars and to restaurants? And how do you make sure that you're drinking your drink when you lift your mask? And what if you put your hand down on the bar? Like, there's just so much to consider. And all of the things that I'm reading, and I'm sure somebody will pop on and correct me, and that's fine. I like to be corrected. and we'll talk about that in another show. No, I'm kidding. We no, I think that they're thinking that there's going to be another surge in the future, like fallish maybe, and that it will become almost this seasonal kind of thing. And of course, they don't know 100%.
Right.
But how do we open? I don't know the answer to that. I miss hugs. I miss having a drink poured for me.
Yes.
I miss food being served. Well, Stacy does that, but I miss like a restaurant. I miss just being around
the experience,
people.
right?
Yes. And so it's super hard. I don't know. How about you, Linda?
On it, I think, I'm torn because as a believer, we're supposed to trust God because he's our provider. He's our, he is our strength, right? And so I do. What I'm torn about is, are we trying to take matters into our own hands and just open right away because we're desperate? Or, should we just trust the process, finish the process, and understand what we're dealing with? Because it's hard for leadership, when we're watching all the news and them not really knowing what's going on. Like nobody knows. We don't have the answer. 1 minute we're okay, the next minute we're closing, the next minute we're opening. Now we're going to open again to then probably close again because we have another strand coming, and if you read on China, they had another strand, they closed again.
I know.
So
that's what I'm worried about.
Me too.
What do we do? So
I don't think there's a right answer, right? I think we're all.
Answer. Yeah, there is no right answer because
I agree.
Small business owner, we want to open, so it's not like I'm, ignorant to the situation, right? I want to open. Right. I just don't have the answer. I really don't know.
Well, I think we're all going to see what happens when Georgia opens up. They're the ones that are going free for all on non-essential, and
Buck wild, right?
Woo,
are they allowed? Are they allowed to even do this?
Yeah, it's all up to the states. The states have this power, and so they're opening. I forget when it is, but it's soon. Like it's the end of this week or next week, and so that should be fascinating to see how that all works. And then there had to be somebody who took the step out. I'm very glad that Florida wasn't that person right now.
I don't want to be blamed.
I don't want to be blamed.
Time out though. If you guys see all these, have you seen all the memes that are going around? Like hashtag Florida, what is it? Idiots.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's awful, so I'm like, what?
Being bullied.
Yeah, I'm like, so what are we doing wrong? So I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out. I will practice social distancing even if they do open, out of respect for family members and the vulnerable. I will 100% practice it for sure and still run a business,
I think another thing that I would love to see people exercise is respect, like social media respect. Don't jump on each other's throats because I may want to open the country and you don't, and vice versa. Because the comments that I'm seeing are not kind, and everybody has a different reason to want to be out there, and yet everyone has a million reasons to be scared, right?
Yeah.
So let's agree to disagree, and we'll catch you on the flip side whenever that is.
It was fascinating. I have to say, Lou, you're right. In the industry that we're in, the real estate industry, it seems to be super divided. You had people that would go out and do their virtual open house or do an open house and adhere to the rules, and they're still adhering to the rules. And then you had this whole other side that are like, you're being irresponsible. And it was lots of anger. And I'm like, if you're following the rules like you're supposed to, then if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And you may not make the same choice as the other person. I think you're right. We need to show kindness and respect. 100%.
And take responsibility, because if we're going to open, take care of yourself. Even, I don't care how healthy you are, respect your neighbor, because you don't know if they're vulnerable or not. You know what I mean?
True.
So which is funny, what was that? Jacksonville opened up the beaches and everybody went crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
I'm not ready for all
Shout
that.
out to Florida. I love it.
I'm not ready for that, especially because I've gained another 20 pounds maybe.
Yeah.
So I wasn't ready for the beach before. I'm definitely not ready now.
So let's talk about family, because school has been extended for social distancing. So, what do you guys feel? What are your thoughts? I mean, we have a lot of parents that are working full time from home or having to go to work because they're an essential worker and their kids are home having to do school. You know,
Yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of frustrations with parents, you know,
me
because they're
too.
having to be teachers. You know, teachers are pretty much just uploading assignments and kids have to just do it.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same, and I'm also seeing the desperation with parents that have to go to work and they don't have anybody to leave the kids with, so
Yeah.
they're taking them to work. I know this girl who's a vet tech at a clinic downtown, and she has two, like kindergarten and first grade, or maybe
Yeah.
pre-K and kindergarten. She has to take her kids with her to work
Wow.
because she's a single mom, and there's really nothing she can do. And then I have the frustration. I'm seeing parents just stressed out because they can't figure it out. Like you said, teachers are uploading what they're uploading. Parents, we're not built for this anymore. At least I know I'm not. I listen, I'm glad my kid is smart and she's been doing homeschooling for a while. I don't have to worry about it. But if I had little ones with all this core math and everything, I think they would fail
It's
because
so hard.
it is.
It's hard, but I
Yeah.
have a different perspective because Stacy's a teacher.
Ooh,
And
tell me.
so it's so difficult because the teachers really are controlled by the administration. So the upsetness that
Right.
gets thrown at the teachers is difficult because and it's not even the principals, it's the county or the district that you're in.
Correct.
So this
Correct.
Right.
whole thing starts to come down, and the teachers are just as frustrated. They're learning a new system. They want to interact. They miss their kids, and they
Yeah.
know that the kids are having a hard time because they're not really getting taught. They're getting tutored maybe the best they can.
Right.
They're there for them when they can. I mean, Stacy's on the phone, she's on 8 hours a day plus,
Wow.
and it's
Yeah.
it's difficult because I get why the parents are frustrated, and the administration, for whatever reason, that's the best way that they figured out how to do it. But it's certainly not the best way for anybody. I feel like Stacy has a hard time. The kids have a hard time, and it's not the best circumstance. So I agree.
I
It's
agree.
very hard. Very, very
I
hard.
think it's hard for the kids too because they're not used to mom and dad teaching them things. They're used to
Yep.
we're all creatures of habit, right? So kids are used to their routine at school, and I think maybe they may be a little more scared of upsetting the parents or getting
Yes.
put in
Yeah.
timeout or whatever. So I can see how that could be difficult for everybody all around. Yeah, for sure.
So for me, as a working mom, and you know, all my kids are doing this at home. It has been a challenge because it has. I feel like they've been given too much work, right? Because I feel that, you know, and I'm speaking from what I see, the kids are already having to adapt to stay home because they can't even, you know, go to the park. They can't go, you know, there's
Hmm.
not much they can do. So the fact that they're having to stay home, they're locked down, and then they're given all this work and expected to perform at excellence and in a timely fashion has been overwhelming for my kids. Literally overwhelming because they're still trying to understand what the heck is this virus and when is it
Right.
leaving, mom?
Why do I have to stay
You
inside?
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was asked yesterday by my boys, you know, they're 7, no, they're 8 and 9. And they asked me, they said, Mom, are we going to have a virus for the summer? You know, because they don't really know if this, you know, what's going
Right.
on. But those are the type of things that they're thinking about. And so, you know, I'm all for social distancing and homeschooling because we do a lot of homeschooling. What I'm not okay with is the overwhelming amount of work that they have to do.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
what happened, I agree. I think that if the Stacy's lucky enough to be teaching at a private school, so
Yeah.
they're on the
Yeah.
touch. The pulse is better. If the parents they're always
Correct.
reevaluating. It's a smaller ship to turn. When you
Hmm.
have the district, like a big Orange County, for example, and you've got the school board and the school superintendent, and those people have X amount of thousands of students they're trying to figure
Yeah.
out. They're
Yeah.
not the students and the parents aren't being, in my experience, being as heard as they
Right.
are with Stacy's. They're not
Agreed.
listening. And so it's not a great situation overall.
I
Yeah.
know.
I think it's sad. We were talking earlier on a show. I feel bad for the people who are graduating, seniors.
I have one of those
I
too.
feel bad for you're right. It's
I
just
have one of
no
those
prom,
too.
no no turning the tassel, no, there's so much that they don't
Yeah.
get to do. It's such a challenge for the kids.
Yeah.
Very, very much so.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
my seniors just like, I just want it to be done.
Yeah.
Aw.
I know.
They're just over it.
Sad.
That sucks. That
Yeah.
kind of probably ruined, or maybe not ruined, but like kind of lost a little bit of shine of the high school experience for him.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not the same, and it'll never be the same. You can't go back and fix it.
No,
Nope,
never.
you can't.
And he's, he's just done. He's like, honestly, Mom, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. You went from the anxiety of having, doing everything you had to do to try to pass senior and graduate.
Yeah.
And then you get there after all your hard work, and then you're not sure if you're going to have a graduation. Then you're not sure if you're going back to school. He's done. He's like, I just want to be done.
It's
so
almost like they're
hard.
being robbed, right? Almost like they're being robbed of
It
that.
feels that
final
way.
thing.
So I had, I felt that way for a long time. And then, the other day I was looking at him and I said, you know what? I'm just grateful that he's safe and that he's healthy and that he's here. I'm not going to just focus on what we couldn't do. I'm just going to be thankful that he's okay, and he didn't get the virus, or he's, you know what I mean? So that's what my focus is, because for a long time I was distraught. I'm like, I waited my whole time for this graduation.
Right.
I knew what I was going to wear, the speech, the crying, and I didn't get to do any of it.
I love it.
So tell me about what's trending. Let's talk about what's trending.
Oh, goodness.
Wow, that is an age thing. You guys tell me what's trending. I think I know what that word means.
So what's happening, right?
What's happening out there? I mean, I feel like the thing that was keeping us alive and keeping us live was Tiger King, for the longest time. Gotta love to.
So
I need to
I gotta
finish that.
It, right?
So I saw the whole thing, and the whole time me and my husband were just like,
what, is this real?
And then next scene, and we're like, and we're going back.
Can't believe it.
It's crazy.
What the hell are we watching? And how did this get on camera? And how did this make it big? Because it really is crazy.
But who would have thought that was going to be like uniting the masses during the quarantine, right?
Think about it. I'm like, is this
all
number one?
Backgrounds and beliefs and whatever. We're like, Tiger King is
Tiger. Yeah. So now you got me in the morning. I'm like, good morning, you cool cats and kittens. I say that just because why not? Carol, what's your
there's so many moving parts of that show that
I'm just not sure.
I can't look at the I can't look. I have to get past that. I know.
I'm so aggravated at that.
It's just really difficult.
Fun fact, he had fixed his teeth and they asked him to take him out for the show. So it was kind of like a gimmick. Yeah, he has like veneers or
I did see a picture of him with them in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he looks totally different. He's not terrible looking. I was like, oh, look at you with teeth.
Isn't he like now like married with kids?
Yes. They
Look,
all
the meth in that town. I mean, those people are all. I mean, those are meth teeth.
Listen, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? If they can make it to Netflix, I can make it to Netflix.
Right? We need a show.
Lip gloss will make it to Netflix.
Yes, just no meth and tigers.
Meth and tigers and murder.
And murder, yeah.
What about Ozark? Did you guys see it?
I've never seen it.
I have not seen that.
Such good things.
What? That's trending.
Maybe that's what I'll start watching this week because my daughter keeps telling me I need to. And Linda, you mentioned it too. So.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's awesome.
It's so good. It's so good. So the last thing that we touch base on the Living Life show is laugh of the day. So Lel, what is your laugh of the day?
My laugh of the day? Let's see. Oh my goodness. I laugh so much and usually at things that are not appropriate to share because that's just my sense of humor. But for me, I've been seeing these memes of like, day 1 versus day 100 and how crazy we look. And our good intentions of working out and all of that. But for me personally was yesterday when I got up, I was going to take a shower and get ready. Took my shirt off and ripped up my nose ring. I've had my nose ring in my nose for 15 years. I ripped it out and I'm running around naked like a crazy person trying to find it because I'm thinking if it closes, I'm never going to get it back in. And, you know, we're not, you know, for me, the important thing during this quarantine was, how am I going to get my nose pierced again? So I figured, and I look up at the mirror and I look like that person that I keep seeing the meme of, you know, day one, you're like, I'm just going to eat salads and I'm going to work out. Fun fact, I did buy a squat machine thing to do squats here. I've used it maybe once. It came like 3 weeks ago. Versus, you know, day 100, which is this. What about you guys?
I don't know. I think one of the things that's probably trending too, but I love memes. I mean, I could look at them all day, but the 90-Day Fiance ones just make me laugh. Big Ed, you know, Stacy and Haley, my daughter, watch that, and so I'm always in the background. It's always going on, and that's another, like, you stare at it, and then I look over at them like, why are we watching? This is insane. But those memes, those memes make me laugh. That show, anything to do with that show, it's insane. So that's my laugh.
What makes me laugh is when I see the memes of how people go and they get all dressed up and ready to go to like a war zone for food shopping, and how they're literally like all decked out and they're running through the store and they're like, and then when they run out, they're just like straight up war zone, because that's me. Like,
that is you.
You will not know who I am. You won't even know. I have shades on, hoodie, mask, gloves. I got like really ugly clothes on because, you know, I'm like, I don't care, you know, if it gets the cooties, because I'll get back to my house and throw it away. So I legit have my hair in a bun, and I am like, from the car. First of all, I go through the whole stage of, okay, I'm going food shopping, and then I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I'm like, okay, so I go through this mental thing. Then I get in the car, we fly to work, like Publix, let's say. I like run through Publix like it's a freaking maze, get back in the car, and I'm out. Like, all you see is smoke. And when I see those memes, I'm like, at least I'm not the only one that's running and going nuts, because it's a terrible experience for me. Then I get rid of my clothes.
I've seen her. She'll FaceTime me, and she looks like, you remember the show from back in the day, like Supermarket Wars or whatever, where you have to like go real fast and just grab everything and throw it. That's Linda. So if you see a crazy tiny person running around in Lake Nona, that's her.
And grabbing everything, just throwing it in the car.
Yep.
See, I love the grocery store. I know you're not supposed to, but I do take my time in there. But I do social distance.
Yeah.
I don't go that often. We order online.
I'm doing that
Amazon
now. And shipped and Instacart.
And shipped. And you know, there's a new one called, I call it Go Puff Daddy, but it's Go Puff, and you can get your booze. You get your booze for $1.90. It's real good.
I need that. So you know what? Talking about booze, Tell
us more.
Well, I remember I put you on to the peach Moscato, and it's so good. I don't know, but the peach Moscato, I'm telling you right now, guys, you have to taste it. It's amazing and refreshing. So I will be visiting that website.
I love it. It's a good website. That and Grizzly, Grizly, or Drizzly, Grizly. Anyway, that one will ship real booze, like big time booze.
I've never had that White Claw stuff that everybody.
Oh, that's what I was drinking. See?
What is it?
It's a malt. It's basically a malt. It's like LaCroix. Have you ever had that water, bubbly water with malted liquor in it? So it's about 5% alcohol. You can get one without sugar that is only 70 calories and no sugar, no carbs. I drink the one with like 1 carb or 2 carbs in it. It's delicious. It's refreshing.
Really? And then it gives you like a buzz?
Allegedly, Linda. Yes, allegedly. It's a breakfast drink. At least that's how I think of it.
Can you guys hear me? I can't hear anything.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
You're not muted.
So
I'm gonna mute you and unmute you. There.
That's all we have.
All right. Well, I enjoyed it. I always enjoy spending time with you guys. I can't wait to give everybody a big hug, whatever that looks like afterward.
Yes.
But that was fun. I like it. I like it when I'm not in charge.
You were in charge. You are in charge. You're the man. We absolutely love you, and you guys know, keep my buddy in your prayers, because he is going to kick butt, and we believe it and we claim it.
Thank you.
And we've got your back 100%.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love you guys so much. All right, have a great day.
Bye, guys.
I love you. I can't hear you, but I love you guys.
Teddy, love you.
Lynn, love you so much.
Mwah.